Hi everybody, this is Amy from GermanPearls.com, and we're going to talk today about how to look at the source code behind a web page. If you have any questions or comments at the end of the video, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below, or head on over to the blog at GermanPearls.com. You can hook up with us on social media, drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. So, let's say you're surfing around on the internet or you find a new blog and you really like the way the blog looks and you want to know, hey, how can I get that look? Or, hey, did they use a plugin to create that? Because I'd love to go see if I can find that plugin and integrate it with my site. Well, there's really quick and easy ways to do just that. So let's use German Pearls blog as an example. I have it pulled up here in Internet Explorer. And if I want to look at the code that generated this web page, it's really easy. I just go to View, and I scroll down here to Source, and there it is. That's the code that generated this web page. Now, what you're going to notice first is that there's different colored text. The one that I usually pay most attention to is the green text if I'm looking for a plugin. The green text are comments or notes left by the coders or the developers that tell them what the code does. It helps them navigate through their code should they have to go back and troubleshoot. It also helps other users kind of identify how the code works. So if I look through the code a little bit, I'll notice that right away here on line 21, it says Jetpack site verification tags. Right away that tells me that this site is using the Jetpack plugin. And scroll down a little bit more on line 25. I see that this site is optimized with the Yoast WordPress SEO plugin, and it actually gives you the version number as well. So you know right away two of the plugins that are being used on this web page. Now you can do that, and as you go through the entire code for the page, you can also look at maybe different ways. If you're familiar with the code, you can look at how the users develop certain portions of their page and maybe use some of those ideas in your own page. Now, there's a second tool which makes it even easier to figure out if a plugin is being used. So say you're scrolling through this web page and you say, hey, that's neat. I really like the way these social sharing buttons are kind of sticking to the top of the page. Is that a plugin? How did they do that? What you do is you kind of go up here to the area, put your cursor over the area of that bar, and you're going to right click and you're going to select Inspect Element. What's going to happen is the screen's going to split. So at the top you have your web page, which you can still navigate, and at the bottom you're going to have that source code. What you're going to notice first off is that a line of that source code is highlighted in blue. And that highlighted section is the area where you clicked. So it helps you find the exact portion of the code that you were looking at when you said, hey, I like this. So sometimes you have to navigate up a few rows, down a few rows to kind of get an idea of where you're looking. So here's the Pinterest button, then there's the Facebook like button, or the Google share button. If I kind of go up a little bit, I see this header. You can see because it's indented a little bit less that it's the header for these buttons, and it says FSB Social Bar. I wonder what that is. So if you want to see if that's a plugin, one thing you can do, we can open a new web page. We can go to Google, and in quotes, we're going to put exactly what we saw in that code. So it was FSB-social, and you can see I've done this already because it's popping up in purple, but social bar in quotes. And the reason we put it in quotes is because we want to know exactly letter for letter. We want to find this syntax. Over on our blog, we have a great post about Google syntax and how to do different Google searches. So you might want to check that out. There's a lot of really handy tips that you can find in there. So when we do click search, bam, right away, floating social bar, best social media plugin for WordPress. So there we have it. We know this is the plugin that was used to create that. And if we want to get that look on our site, you would just go download that plugin and install it on your site. that's all there is to it. We can close this. You will find as you do this more and more, you kind of get to know the code a little bit better. You understand how it works. And I think you'll find it very useful when you're developing your own site and trying to improve upon your own site. So that's all we have. Again, if you have any questions, comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below, and hop on over to GermanPearls.com, hook up with us on social media. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.